everyone, welcome back to a new video. Do you guys know what time it is? I don't know if you guys know, but it is the ending of the year and you guys know what that means. It's time for our monthly TBR wrap up. But if you guys don't know who I am, oh hi princess. If you guys don't know who I am, hi, hello. My name is Esme. I go by Esme IRL. This is my dog Princess, who is just, I think they just want to say hi to you, right? You just want to say hi to the, vlog, huh? I guess we're gonna have a visit from Princess today. So I thought I would make this a little bit more chill. So let me not stall and let's get right into the video. So if you guys don't know, every single at the end of the month, I like to have, you know, our monthly, we have our monthly wrap up. Can you go right here, please? We have our monthly wrap up and then we have our that month TBR. So I just finished filming the TBR video, so stay tuned for that. So I thought I would show you guys what were all the books that I read in the month of January. So to start off, I think I'm gonna go from like most recent to latest book. So if you don't know, the most recent book that I read in the month of January is I read Flawless by Elsie Silver, and honestly I would say she's like not my fave out of the whole bunch, but like she wasn't the worst out of the whole series, I want to say. Or at least I haven't read the whole series, but like she was okay. I think I would give her like a 4 out of 5. So this is how I rate my my books, okay? So I've never given a book a 1 star, but 1 star is if I DNF'd, or like 1 star is if I DNF'd it / I hated it. 2 stars if like, okay, this was good, or like she was okay but I wouldn't recommend it. 3 stars, I'm like, I would recommend to you, but like it's not my cup of tea. 4 stars is like, I liked it, I would recommend it to you, but it's not like my favorite, like, oh my god, I live and breathe this book. And then 5 stars is above, is I absolutely enjoyed this book, like I will always recommend it. Like she is mwah, chef's kiss. I guess she wants to be included. So if you guys don't know, we have like our friendly little YouTube, I don't know, like she knows exactly what she's doing. But yeah, where was I? Right, I was talking about Elsie Silver's Flawless. Or Flawless, right? Yeah, like it was okay. It basically follows around, I think her name is Summer, and it follows around Rhett. Basically, Summer, I believe, is like the famous daughter of this famous daughter of like this very well-known, I want to say he's like kind of like a social media coordinator, but at the same time not, because if you guys don't know, Rhett is a bulldog. Not bulldog, I'm mixing this up. What is it called? A bull rider. Holy, I don't know why it was blanking my brain, but it was a bull rider, and she does have a I will say though, if you do not like smut, this book may not be for you, because she does have a little bit of smut. Maybe it's like 2 out of 5 in smut, because it's like not a lot, it's just like in certain scenes, but it's not like smut after smut after smut. So it's like, it's still, I still get the plot, but you know, it has like little touches of smut. So yeah, that book I would give like a 4 out of 5, and then 2 out of 5 chilies. So the next book I have, I love this book. It made me cry in one part. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because like I read this during, like, I was very emotional when I was reading this book, but I love this book. So if you guys don't know, Out on the Limb by Hannah Bowen Young basically follows around Winnie, who I believe I think her right hand is smaller than her left hand, and she has this one night stand with Beau. Surprisingly, I don't like the what is it called, like the one night stand trope, and then like the accidental, or like I like the one night stand trope, but I don't really like the accidental pregnancy trope, especially if like both couples are horrible for each other. I'm like, why would you trap the child with you? But honestly, I love this book so much that I didn't even care that it had a trope that I personally didn't like. I genuinely liked it. So Winnie basically met Beau during a Halloween party of Winnie's friend, I believe. I already forgot her name. Holy, what was her name? I forgot her. I'm so sorry, I forgot the name. But basically Winnie finds out that she's having a child, and she tells Beau, hey Beau, I'm gonna have a kid with you. Like, I'm not gonna force you to stay or not if you want to, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna have a child, and if you want to be part of the child's life, I'm not gonna stand in the way. And Beau's like, oh my god, like, of course I want to have your kid. Like, I mean, of course I want you to have my kid. Like, he's basically like my one last chance basically to have ish children. And so they basically go on this like whole journey while experiencing pregnancy with Winnie, and this book was so good. So I think I would give this book like a 4.5 out of 5, because like it was still missing a little bit that I wish it would have like that 5-star potential, but she wasn't bad. Like, I genuinely liked the book and I would recommend it to all of you. So yeah, if you guys okay, hear me out. If you guys don't like the accidental pregnancy trope, just hear me out. Just hear me out. Watch. Just give it a try. Give it a try. Trust me, you will forget that trope is in here, because it is, mwah, chef's kiss. It is amazing. Trust me. Also, vlog, it's currently raining today, and it's the first of the month, and it's raining. same mistake. Two birds, one stone. Okay, the next book I bought, the next one that I read this earlier in the month. So like, it was still kind of Christmas-esque. So I read A Quart of Sugar and Spice. I hope you guys know this book is more smut than plot. So if you really just want like a book for the vibe, or like you don't want a book that's like gonna make you actually think about the fantasy world, A Quart of Sugar and Spice is a perfect, I want to say it's more of like a holiday Christmassy read, because if I would try to read it in February right now, I feel like whenever I hear about the Nutcracker, I think of like Christmas or New Year's. I think of December. So I actually read this in the first week of January. That's why I was like still kind of in that mood to like read about Christmas and all that, because like honestly, I like the book. I just wish there was a few more plot points in this, because like I get it that it's kind of like a smutty-esque book, but I do kind of wish it had a little bit more plot in it, just like a little bit more. The third to last book that I read is oh, I didn't even rate this. Hold on. Oops, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think I'm gonna rate this book like a 3 out of 5. I think that's what I put on my Goodreads. But yeah, I gave this book a 3 out of 5 because she's not the like I would recommend to you, but like she's fine. Like I like it for the vibes a lot. The next book I have, I love this book. It's The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. If you guys haven't heard about The Fine Print, basically there's these 3 books in this series called The Dreamland Billionaires, and each brother has like their own tasks that they need to basically handle from their grandfather. So their grandfather unfortunately passes away, and he gives each kid, or like each heredero in Spanish, or like heir, he basically gives each heir their own tasks that they have to do. So for this one, it follows around Rowan. I believe Rowan is the middle child or the youngest. He's not the oldest for sure, but I think he's the youngest. I have to look through, but I believe Rowan's the youngest. Rowan's task is basically going to Dreamland, which I like to say is their Disneyland, because Dreamland, Disneyland, kind of like, it's kind of hand in hand to both of them, but it's not at the same time. But basically it follows around Rowan having to fix up Dreamland up a little bit, see what is it something that they're missing, what is something that they could add, are there things you can fix. He's basically gonna go in, and for the next 6 months he's gonna work with the geniuses, is what he calls them. He's gonna work with the genies to basically figure out what is it that I can add, what is it that I can fix, are we missing anything in Dreamland. And so he hires this new girl called Zara, who, after she submits a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, she should have been fired, right? But Rowan Kane decides to offer her her dream job instead. The catch: I have to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, this book was a little bit slow, so that's why I want to give it like a 4 out of 5, because like I think I started this book in November and I just now finished it in January. Like I don't know why, I was picking it up, I was reading a few chapters and I would put it down, and then I would pick up another book and finish that other book, but then I would always just keep going back to the fine print. But hey, now that I finished it, I can gladly say that I'm gonna enjoy it. So the next book that I have on my list, because like the next book on this one is Terms and Conditions, and I heard, okay, hear me out, I heard from TikTok and like other booktubers that Terms and Conditions is like the best book out of the whole series. And like I have all 3 books now, so I'm so excited to finish that series. I may film a video where I'm reading all the series I'm in the middle of, because like Lordy Nord knows that I have a lot of series I need to finish. But yeah, for The Fine Print, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 5 in stars, and then for Spice, maybe like a 2 out of 5, because like this book, honestly, I love this book. It had more plot, and then it had like a few smut scenes, but like, granted, you could just like skip past it and you wouldn't be really missing much. The second to last book that I read basically in the month of January is I read A Court of Mist and Fury. So if you guys didn't know, last month December I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I loved it. Basically, A Court of Thorns and Roses is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It follows around a character called Feyre. I keep calling her Fair because F-E-Y-R-E, like F-E-Y-R-E, Fair. But then I know a lot of people say Fair, but I just say Fair. So Fair basically accidentally, not by her choice, but she accidentally murders a fairy. Yeah, she accidentally murders a fairy, and basically there's like the High Lord of the Spring Court called Tamerlane comes and is like, hey, you are gonna have to spend the rest of your life at my place to basically amend for what you did. And so she's like, okay, but you're gonna have to take care of my family because it's the only reason I was out in the forest at that time, and honestly, your friend Andres was not my fault. So yeah, basically that's A Court of Thorns and Roses. A Court of Mist and Fury is the sequel book to A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I love love this one so much more than A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know if you guys can see how many times I annotated this one, but I annotated it way more than A Court of Thorns and Roses. But yeah, I'm so excited. This is like my first like big fantasy series that I'm reading, because like I've read fantasy books, right? I think the first book I read was Divine Rivals, like romantasy-esque, but A Court of Thorns and Roses is like the first long fantasy series that I'm gonna get into. But honestly, A Court of Mist and Fury, 5 out of 5. Infinity, I don't care, infinity. Like, I love this book so much, and I understand why liking Tamlin is a canon event now, because I love Tamlin a lot in the first book, and then I read this one, and I'm a Ryzen stan. But honestly, this basically just follows around Fairy and Tamlin, and like something that happened in the first book that she has to continue in this book. And honestly, I think I finished this in 3 or 4 days. So as of right now, A Court of Mist and Fury is the longest book I've read, whopping I think at 650 pages, 626 pages. This is the longest fantasy and longest book I've ever read, and I'm currently on A Court of Wings and Ruin. I had to put a pause on her, like she was kind of putting me into a book rut, but I will pick her up. I might pick the book right up after this video, who knows. But yeah, 5 out of 5 for A Court of Mist and Fury, and honestly 3 out of 5 for, actually 4 out of 5, between 3 and 4 for Smut, because like, or like Spice, because like she's just that much. Like, this book is that girl. And the last book that I read in the month of January is called Lighlark by Alex Asher. Honestly, I picked this up just randomly on a trip to Barnes & Noble's because I saw that this book was trending. I think I bought this book I think I bought it in September. And so I just saw it on my bookshelf and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give Lighlark a chance, because like I've heard a lot of people say great things about it. And so I think I was reading it during Read With Me for a week, or no. Oh no, how my phone pickups choose how many times I read or like how many pages I read. Basically this video, and this is the first book I read in that video, right? Or like, yeah, this was the first book I read in the video. And honestly, I think after like page, what is it, like halfway through the book, I couldn't put the book down. So I read it all, I read it the whole day. I think day one or two, one of the two. I kept on reading it, and then I finished the book. And I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest book I've ever, or like this is one of the good books that I've read. So like, I would also give her a 5 out of 5. Because like, to this day, I still think about Lighlark. And I really want to read Nightbane, but I was like, you know what? I need to finish my books. Like, I can't keep starting series and then not finishing them. So like, I really want to read Nightbane, but I promised myself, I need to finish A Court of Wings and Ruin first, and then I can read Nightbane. But yeah, for Lighlark, she's like a 5 out of 5 in like the whole stars, like mwah, chef's kiss. And it's actually this is a YA book, so if you do not like smut, I would recommend this to you guys. Like, I like smut, but there's a few times where I'm just like, I'm kind of not in the mood to read smut today. But yeah, Lighlark, I would greatly recommend you guys read it. And that, everyone, is my whole, what is this, my January wrap-up book. I don't know if you guys can tell. Ding. But this is the wrap-up book. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm so excited to see what February has in stock. I think I picked out a good like romance-y books for the month of February, because you know, February is the month of love. January was the month of, I don't know what transition. February is the month of love, so I'm so excited. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch me up on TikTok or Instagram if you guys want to, you know, keep up. I've been posting every single day on here, YouTube. I've been posting every single day on my social medias. So if you guys ever want to see, like, you know, what is Esme actually reading? Because like, as of right now, I think my TikTok's gonna see the January wrap-up before you guys. No, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, if you guys want to get more caught up to date, I have my TikTok and Instagram if you guys want to keep up. And I would greatly appreciate it if you guys liked and subscribed to this video. And comment down below a bow if you've ever read any of these books and you thoroughly enjoyed it, or if there's a book you're excited to read in this month of in the month of February. But yeah, that is all for today. My name is Esme. This is my dog Princess. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is my dog Princess. Princess, come here. Okay, never mind. But yeah, this is my dog Princess, and we are both signing off for today's video. Bye, besties.